Hello, good people of YouTube. Mountbatten here, and today I am bringing you some news from the Warships development blog page on Facebook, and that is we're getting two new game modes. Well, I guess you could say it's one game mode with two different variants, but I see it as two different game modes. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and read just word for word what the Facebook post says, and then I'm going to break it down as I understand it. Alright, so this says there will be a close test of two new game modes. They both are based on the idea of escorting of the Allied convoy of bot ships. I'm assuming this is a direct Russian to English translation, so it might be a bit off with the translation. But anyway, please note that these are conceptions of the game modes, and their rules may change significantly. In the Convoy's A mode, both teams have the same objective: be the first to escort the indestructible bot ship from the team spawn to the destination point on the fixed route. The ship moves by itself, but if the allies are nearby, they will slowly regenerate HP and the bot will move faster. Any player's ship, except aircraft carriers, can, after being destroyed, respawn near the convoy route a maximum of twice per battle. That's new. The routes are symmetrical, and there are parts where the teams have to come close to each other. Teams are composed of 6, 7, or 12 players. Okay, so for that first mode, it sounds pretty simple. Both teams have to escort an indestructible bot ship from one side of the map to the other, and it moves faster if the teams stick near it. That's good. And it says it regenerates HP, and the bot will move faster. Now I'm not sure if that means. Oh no, it's got to mean that it regenerates the player ship's HP, because the bot in and of itself is indestructible. So that's good. That's going to encourage people to stay in more of a convoy formation. And yes, that sounds very good. Obviously, that they're going to have some tweaks to this before this comes out, but that sounds pretty good. In my opinion, this next bit sounds even better. There are 2 rounds in the Convoy's B mode, so this is the second game mode. The first round, one of the team's defenders escorts the convoy of 3 armed ships along the fixed route. The task of the attacking team is to destroy these ships in a limited time. Teams change their objectives. In the second round, the team that escorts the ships further than the opposition wins the battle. The player ships respawn after being destroyed. The attackers respawn faster and may choose one of the spawn points, and defenders get back into battle near the convoy. If there are ships of the defending team near the convoys, then both they and the convoys regenerate their HP. Both teams consist of 7 players. That sounds really, really cool. It's I really like that second mode, because it sounds a lot like the what was it called from Overwatch? The mode where you had to escort the objective, whatever that's called. I like that game mode. It's that asymmetrical gameplay where you're trying to do one thing and the other team's trying to stop you. Because the first game mode is very symmetrical. This is more asymmetrical, and I like that. And in the second game mode, it sounds like there's not a limited number of respawns, where in the first game mode you have only 2 respawns. But the second game mode, they may only be 2 respawns, because they may have just worded it weird or something. But that sounds very, very cool. Both teams consist. Okay, so for the second game mode, you only get 7 players per team, so that's only 14. So that's 14, so that's 7v7. In the first game mode, it can be 12v12. And this is very, very good. This is fresh. This is new. This is what I've been saying the game needs. New ships and new maps are all very nice and dandy, but game modes is something this game really lacks. You really only have 3, and that's, of course, standard battle, domination, and epicenter. And episodes not even played that much, but this is very, very good, and they give examples of the routes for both game modes. The first picture I'm going to show you is for the Convoy A, where both teams get a ship to escort. You can see they're at the 4th waypoint. It looks like the convoy is going to be they are going to be right next to each other. And for Convoys B, there's the route for that the 3 bot ships are going to take. And I'm assuming they're going to have to track this for every map. And of course the bot ships are going to be on rails. So do the bot ships stop in Convoys B? It doesn't say. I'm going to assume that the convoy slows down just like in the first game mode, in the second game mode. But yeah, this is very cool. And it sounds like the now it did say in Convoys A, carriers can't respawn. And I'm going to assume that that's true for Convoys B as well until they say they can or can't. I'm going to assume that's because the planes, the whole thing about carriers that the longer they go in the game, the more planes they lose, the slower the plane regen is, and it wouldn't be fair if, your carrier gets sunk but then it comes back, just fresh at the start of the game with a full hangar of planes. That wouldn't be fair to the ships whose AA has been whittled down throughout the battle, No, wait, because the ships can respawn too. Huh. Well, it's probably going to be one of the things where they're adding carriers later once they figure out how to balance it just right. But yeah, this is very good. I'm very, very happy about this. I can't wait to play it. I'm just going to assume that this is going to be like, oh Lord, probably 3 or 4 months off before we even see this. Because obviously there's a whole lot of work they need to do. And this also sounds like a good mode for submarines if they ever come out, which it's looking like they will, but submarines are probably still like a year off, if not longer. But yes, this is good. This is what the game needs. This is going to breathe a lot of fresh air into the game because, you can only play 3 game modes so much over and over and over again. Like I mentioned a while back in the Is It Dying video, I played the crap out of Battlefield 3, but that game had, I spent 8,000 hours in that game. But that game had, frickin' 6 or 7 or 8 game modes, depending upon what year you were playing it in. And, World of Warships only has 3, and then, they have the operations, but, on a mainly PvP game, that's only going to buy you so much time. But yeah, this is good. This is great. I'm happy that they finally decided to focus on new game modes rather than just pumping out more and more ships and more. Maps are good too, but game modes, this game really, 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 really needed more of that. So what do you guys feel about this? Do you feel it's good? Is it not good? I know I said it was going to be like Overwatch, and I'm not sure how this community, the Overwatch community, are in comparison to that type of playstyle of the, escorting the objective and stuff. And well, the main issue I see with that is that some ships, especially in the Convoys B mode, they're probably going to go off and just start doing random death matches everywhere on the map, which I can see that to be a valid strategy, but again, you are encouraged to stay near the convoys because it's going to regenerate your ship's HP and they're going to move faster, which I'm going to assume that also applies to the Convoys B mode as well, because in Convoys A it says that they will, but in Convoys B it doesn't say if you're closer to the ships do they move faster, which they may or may not, because it is just one side escorting and one side attacking at that point, so they may just keep going at whatever speed they're going. You just have to keep up with them, which again, I think that's a good thing. But anyway, yep, I'm very, very excited about this. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And also, what do you think about carriers? Do you think they should even be allowed in this mode? Because, again, it also depends like what ships you're escorting, because in the Convoys B mode it said 3 armed ships. Now are they just 3 Liberty ships with a couple of AA guns on it, or are they like, is it going to be like a battleship and a couple of destroyers of whatever tier you're playing in? That all depends, but I can see how carriers might be a bit troublesome for the balancing of these game modes, but I think they probably could figure it out. Again, this is probably 3 or 4 months off from coming out, but yep, this is great. This is good. I'm really happy. I'm a bit tired of playing the same too, because Epicenter only comes out every once in a while, and that game mode's either a walkover for one side or the other. But anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video. Let me know what you think about these new game modes in the comments down below. Hope y'all having a wonderful, what's today? Friday. And I hope to catch you guys in the next one.